to the Maritime Science and Technology Forum 2024 with the theme Responsive Research and Development on Emerging Maritime Technologies. To officially start the program, may I call here on stage to deliver the welcome remarks from the side of the Maritime Industry Authority Administrator, Sonia Manaluan. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Austin. To the DOSTP Shared Executive Director, Dr. Enrico Parinit, Marina officials, Commodore Joven Pabol of the Philippine Coast Guard, our resource speakers, experts, partners in science and technology and research and development, esteemed stakeholders from our private sector, fellow workers in the government, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is an honor and a pleasure to welcome all of you to this Maritime Science and Technology Forum 2024 with the theme Responsive Research and Development on the Emerging Maritime Technologies. As we all know, the maritime industry is the backbone of global trade, with about 90% of goods carried by ships, as it is considered the least expensive when it comes to cost by volume. In this era of technological innovations and digital transformation become very imperative. The maritime industry is now challenged by the emerging technologies such as blockchain, robotics, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, Internet of Things, mass or autonomous surface ships, cloud and SaaS, green shipping and decarbonization, and other technological solutions. Emerging technologies will continue to play a major role for the maritime sector to pursue its path towards safer, more sustainable, and resilient future. But technology alone cannot bring changes that is required. It is a shared responsibility, and all maritime stakeholders have to foster an environment that supports innovation. Over the past years, the collaboration between the Maritime Industry Authority and the DOSTP has been a great help in devising new technologies in the maritime industry, particularly in maritime safety and marine environment protection, including shipbuilding and ship repair, as well as digitalization. Today, we gathered in this very important event that is in line with the effective implementation of the maritime-related projects and activities with the aim of achieving safer, cleaner, and efficient maritime transport system. It is our hope that for this forum, we will accomplish the following objectives. First, we will unveil the maritime transport initiatives and R&D projects supported under the Marina DOSTP shared partnership through the presentation of our project leaders and experts. These initiatives and projects are in line with our Maritime Industry Development Plan 2028 that has been adopted through the issuance of Executive Order number 55 just 2 weeks ago. Next is the renewal of our partnership and commitment with the OSTP through the signing of a new Memorandum of Agreement. Third, there will be the presentation of Industry Outlook Report, wherein the resource speakers will give a brief discussion on modernized shipping and decarbonization initiatives, shipbuilding and ship recycling, as well as digitalization projects. And lastly, later on, we will conduct a focus group discussion to discuss the priorities in terms of research and development directing towards the achievement of our goals as indicated in our MIDP 2028. At the end of this program, a resolution based on the consolidated inputs from the government agencies and private sector stakeholders will be signed to formalize our commitment towards a more progressive Philippine maritime industry during this era of Bagong Pilipinas. And we will also come up with our research and development agenda following our MIDP 2028. So once again, welcome to this event and magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much. Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Truly, it's a very wonderful morning. No? We started off actually this morning with a demonstration of our SESI boat, the electric boat, earlier, which some of us had actually the privilege of boarding. And then we went on here for our event. Of course, I'd like to greet our key officials that are not only responsible but also instrumental in making this event happen. Our very energetic administrator of Marina, Ms. Sonia Malaluan, ma'am. Our Deputy Administrator for Operations, Ms. Nanette Dinopol, ma'am. The OAC Deputy Administrator for Planning, Ms. Ninita Atienza. The Executive Director, kausap namin kanina, Mr. Samuel Batalla. The Deputy Executive Director, Captain Vicente Navarro, sir. The Commodore of the Philippine Coast Guard, Joven Fabol. Meron din po tayong agreements and MOU with the PCG. Hindi po rin namin yung tinakalimutan. Captain Roderick Denila of the Philippine Coast Guard. Ang ating masigasig din na Society of Naval Architects and Marine Engineers, Chairman Samuel Lim. We usually have this run-ins together, no? In a good way, no? Kasi we always have very fruitful discussions. Of course, our researchers from Mapua University earlier, the Engineer Famous, the researchers from the other institutions that are here present today. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Department of Science and Technology Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development are very much heartened to have you all here in our Maritime Transport R&D Initiative forum, where we set forth conquering new horizons through science and technology. Of course, we are grateful to Marina for this very fruitful partnership because this has been happening for quite a while now, and somehow we've seen the very bright spots that are clearly beckoning in the horizon. So today, we shall celebrate these victories by showcasing the outputs of the R&D projects undertaken by the various research institutions through the content of our previous agreement, and I think it's still in force, the Science and Technology for Maritime Transport Applications, or STMTA agreement, signed a while back. I think this was even signed during the pandemic. So it was not really a reason for us to have the pandemic to actually be productive about the things that we're doing. So DST Fisher believes that the Philippines truly has the potential to become a maritime power hub. Our country is a strategic location from the very busy shipping lanes. So for those that are uninitiated, papakilala ko lang po ang Fisher. No? Medyo we have this liability of having a very long acronym. Hindi ko alam, mas mahaba lang kami ng konti sa Marina, pero I think Marina really resonates well, di ba? Pero sa Fisher, mas mahirap. But we're one of the 3 sectoral planning councils of the Department of Science and Technology, and we are mainly known as a funding agency for researchers. Sabi ko nga, if I go by each time walking, para may peso sign sa mukha ako kasi source ng funding. So we mainly support, of course, research and development being undertaken by our brilliant scientists, researchers, engineers from government, from universities, no? Even from the private sector, particularly for startups, because we are mandated to do so. But we also support human resource development because it's not easy to become a researcher, to become an innovator. So we need to support even their training, even their development, even the institutions that they represent. And then, of course, we also have to let the public know what we're doing. So that's probably why we're here in this forum. And then lately, because of the passage of the Innovative Startup Act, we are mandated to actually provide support even to private firms, no? Small firms. Tawag natin doon mga startups. And then, of course, we're a member of government. So every time that there's a discussion about adoption of key technologies, regulations, promotions of key scientific developments, we also input to key legislations or executive issuances of government. Of course, our priorities are put there: food, manufacturing, everything that's made under the sun, about every industry that's there, no? Except, of course, those that are related to agriculture or health. No? So medyo, so tayo, industry talaga. We partnered with Marina to implement the STMTA way back pa in 2017. And sabi ko nga, parang kasal, no? May renewal of vows. So I think we're going to undertake again yet another renewal of this very productive and very successful partnership. The STMTA is envisioned to ensure the country's maritime transport to flourish from the various innovations on alternative fuels, efficient water management, transportation technologies, the use of renewable energies, the modernization of merchant fleets, and of course, as part of our thrust for intelligent transport system. Siguro to give you a rundown how dedicated we are in making this happen, siguro this is the tail of the tape, so to speak, no? In terms of the budget, in terms of the resources that we allocate for research and development. At mapapansin nyo, wow, mukhang mas malaki na ngayon, mas malaki pa nga ang inaalok natin na budget na for research on maritime transport than it is on land. No? Di ba surprising but pleasantly surprising? And that is the trend that we're taking. So it's about 67% of the total budget for the entire period that you're seeing on screen. Ito siguro hindi na natin mababasa dito, but for those that are attending our technical working group meetings, no, every so often that we call them. In fact, we do this every just before the call for proposals, no? The submission of the proposals. Pinapatawag ulit namin ng mga researchers. We call on our industry captains. We call on our government agencies, regulatory bodies, our friends from PCG, para mag-input ulit, no? And then we tell them, okay, this is what we have supported so far. These are ongoing. These have been completed. This is what we have set during this horizon, no, of development up to 2028 in line with the term of the administration. But of course, we can go way back. Meron dyan ongoing, merong done or completed, and then we have set out our targets. So without reading it, actually, if you look at the colors, already we have a good indication that something is happening, something is moving. And nakikita nyo rin naman sa movement sa budget, nakikita rin naman natin in terms of the number of projects that have been supported and in terms of the milestones that we have achieved as soon as these projects have been completed in both the maritime transport roadmap, and I think this is more specific over the longer term. Medyo broad strokes yung ating roadmap leading up to 2040. Because by the way, this has been inspired by Pagtanaw 2050 actually, which was crafted by our National Academy of Sciences, which says there that our priority is to become a prosperous, archipelagic, maritime nation. No? Nowhere else in other documents has this been recognized. And this is consistent also with the Philippine Development Plan, no? Where it outlines their key specific areas of development related to maritime and coastal development. Kasi yan yung key areas of where progress could take place. But so let me share with you some of the updates of the STMTA accomplishments. Just to give us a good idea, I know some of you have been working on specific projects and all of this, but sometimes you just look at what you are looking with your in line with your projects. No? But if I give you now a rundown of these projects, that might give us a very good idea of the possible linkages, the possible connections coming off from all of these projects that all relate to the maritime industry. First off, we have the local identification system for ship tracking and monitoring. So our Mapu University group, Dr. Pebos had ventured into coming up with our own version of the fabled AIS. No? Kasi ang constraint was that it was too expensive, it was too big, maybe we can reduce its size, maybe we can reduce its cost, and we can make it more accessible or available to our local operators, no? Vessel operators. And then we also have Parola, which is the Port Capacity Analysis and Right Optimization for Local Maritime Administration. This is actually meant to support port operations. So it's like digitalizing the entire port operations, and this was actually co-developed together with the Cebu Ports Authority. The intention is to actually roll this out to other ports for their digitalization. And then, of course, we have, I'm very much proud and very glad that Marina has embraced Maris and Midas for the value that it brings to the institution. As I said earlier, that one of the battle cry really of the maritime industry is to make it first digital. Because if you have a digital data, it's easier now to get insights. It's easier to understand how the industry works in its various stakeholders. And Maris and Midas are two of the software that was actually adopted eventually. Developed, of course, by our bright researchers from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Dr. Justin here has sought to have this really applied. No? Kasi ang concern namin nung una, okay, you make all of these tools but nobody's using them. But now we know that we're comforted that our initial vision for Midas and Maris has turned out well. We have others that are in the works. I believe we have this design and development of automated marine sewage treatment plant using UV light with holding tank. So it's a way to address the issue about wastewater management in our vessels. They wanted to make it a little bit smaller. And then one key aspect of this maybe, or one feature, is that hindi na lang para sa Metro Manila ang development ng ating mga technologies. This can even be brought or even be forwarded by our researchers coming from other regions. Much more Visayas region, which is more laden with more islands than Luzon. And then we have this design and development of the low-cost mobile data acquisition system for small crafts. This was born out of the PCG's desire to actually come up with a tracking system. So we're looking at the possibility that this be not only applied in Boracay area, but also elsewhere in other areas where PCG is present, sir. So baka pwede natin ding gamitin. And then in terms of maritime environment, I mentioned earlier about the wastewater management. This one is more to address our international commitment at present under IMO on ship ballast water and biofouling treatment system for marine vessels. There are actually two projects on this. The first one uses a Westpac Thesis microfouler technique and global ballast guidelines and protocols for monitoring and detecting settlement of marine foulers. So this will actually allow for benchmarking and identification of foulers in ballast water. So the second one is now the solution. No? So once you found it out, what do you do with it? So there's a system that needs to be developed to treat it so that the pathogens that might come with the fowler can be addressed. No? So this will actually address also the need of international, even domestic shipping industries. So we also supported, of course, this is one of the big ticket items actually of the UST for the hybrid trimaran passenger and cargo vessel development. So it's on its way for verification. In fact, there will be seawater trials from I think a few months now. So hopefully ito yung mga project na gusto mong floating, no? If I may make that allusion. So the objective is to validate and fine-tune the performance of this technology because it uses a combination of a wave as well as of course, conventional source of energy to propel the vessel. And then, of course, no, ang ating pinagmamalaking safe, efficient, and sustainable solar-assisted plug-in electric boat. Mahirap lang tandaan, pero kumikintal sa isip yung mismong produkto, no? The SESE EBO. So congratulations again to Dr. Febo Stig. We're thinking of, having this adopted by islands that have very active tourist industry, diving, snorkeling, no? And even those that are using glass boats, papalitan mo yung kuwan, gagawin mong glass boat so you can see the corals tahimik, no? You can actually talk, you don't have to shout to each other, no? It provides a lot of disadvantages. And then we also have continued to support this through the development of a prototype e-boat for inland waterways to address urban congestion. So ito naman parang it tries to address inland water transport, particularly river transport. So we're glad that, of course, with the recent pronouncement for the rehabilitation of Pasig River, this will very much complement that activity by ensuring that there is a eco-friendly alternative to make it available not only to Pasig River but to other rivers which are navigable, and even those that are providing river tourist services, which is coming in vogue in many parts of the country. We have not yet stopped there, no? We became more ambitious, so we said, kung meron tayong lumilipad na boat or lumulutang na eroplano, how does it look like? Because we're an archipelagic country, sometimes we do not have spaces for airports. So what if the plane could just land on water and act as a vessel as soon as it lands? So we're making headways on this with the project that we entrusted Cebu Technological University as a implementer. So hopefully we also gain some success on that. They've made some designs on it. Medyo nakakainip ko minsan kasi nasa na yung prototype. But I think the large chunk of the brain power that is needed there is on the design. No? Once the design is developed, we can create the prototypes. And then we also tasked our researchers from the University of Cebu to come up with the hull design standard for Philippines seawater prototype. It's supporting the establishment of a library of various seawater conditions in various navigational lanes, and of course the types of hulls that are being used in these areas to ensure that we have the proper design, so that they can operate at optimal levels. So this project will actually find out whether our designs actually make sense for the type of seawater that's available or present in these areas. And then we have, we're proud of this project. It's being implemented by no less than our Society of Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering. So ongoing, they're looking for an alternative source using sail for tuna commercial fishing boat. Parang bumabalik tayo nung dati, sail ang ginagamit to propel our vessels, pero ngayon bumabalik tayo. And then we have the design and development of the marine autonomous surface ship or MAS prototype. So again, this being implemented by the Cebu Technological University. This will directly support our efforts in providing intelligent marine transport system. And this is expected to establish several research facilities and linkages that they will significantly improve the capability of our higher education institutions, especially those that are offering engineering programs. Of course, the expectation for all of these research projects, development projects, is that they see the light of being made available to the public. And how is this going to be done? We need to support their journey towards technology transfer. They need to link up with industry so that some of the learning, some of the design, some of the features from these technologies could be eventually adopted. Of course, to be ambitious about it, we could even prod or push our researchers to become entrepreneurial themselves. No, that is a great ambition on our part, so that we can encourage industrialization, full industrialization of our maritime technologies. Right? That's part of the game. As I mentioned earlier, we do support private firms in the development of key technologies in line, of course, with the provisions of the Innovative Startup Act, no? RA 11337. So there are also researches that we have transitioned as spin-off companies. A few examples of these are as follows. We have FAME, which developed a transponder that makes it easy for fishing vessels to keep track of their location using a laser communication technologies. And then we have the iNano solution, which offers a marine nanocoat. It's an anti-barnacle, anti-corrosion, and anti-UV coating material for ships and other floating marine structures. So this can actually help the shipbuilding industry by reducing the operational and maintenance costs of ships due to drag. So hopefully, magkakaroon na ito ng, I think they've been offering this for a while, and they're still looking for some adapters. So hopefully those that I've shown you earlier will follow suit into that long line of startups. For 2024, so what are we now doing? So let me now share with you two of our commercialized technologies which we hope to help the maritime sector. So una, yung alternative voyage routing software for local navigation. We have two new initiatives under the Center for Modernized Marine Transport System. This is hosted by the University of Cebu and as part of the DOST Niche Centers for R&D under the Science for Change program. I think I already presented to you these two projects earlier. And then we have the supporting projects including the ALOM, the pilot and demonstration of localized vessel tracking system for marine protected areas, because we also realize we need to provide more protection to our MPAs, and we need to know what kind of vessels are going into these environmentally sensitive areas. And then we are, of course, prototyping and piloting the electric passenger ferry for inland transport. As I mentioned earlier, it is because of the very intensive and very extensive dialogue and discussions that we have with key stakeholders that makes all of these achievements possible in the last few years. Without it, we don't think that we will be moving forward. Sometimes very open, sometimes very contentious, but nonetheless, we have agreed on many parts that we are looking for. Even the researchers are deriving inspiration from all of these prospects for collaboration and partnership. So in line with the Maritime Industry Development Program, these are some of the identified points of collaboration which we want to push through moving forward. And the UST assured will be pretty much supportive, no, of this initiative. So sana rin yung mga researchers will be responding to the calls for each of these. Of course, we have our trusts for digitalization, the ship registry, the passenger service rating system, the electronics registration and localization of marine fishing and passenger vessels, the IIOV that was mentioned by Administrator Maluluan earlier, is taking on from your challenge about to our technologies, to our innovators to come forward and offer solutions. And also this includes smart green marine logistics. Aside from that, this is actually a very long list, no, of parang Pasko, no, mahaba yung wish list. But the intention really is to put out there what do we intend to do moving forward from here on. No? So the tail doesn't really end there. We will continue to move forward with ensuring that our maritime sector is modernized, competitive, efficient, and sustainable. This includes, of course, building capacities, because we know that it's not easy to move forward with all of this if only there are, chief experts that are doing it. It is a whole of, should we say, government approach. It is a whole of industry approach that we should be taking. So on various fronts, no? Whether it's on policy, whether it's on technology development, whether it's on capacity building and human resource, we should always find ways in order for all of these technologies to find the right place and be adapted and be part of our growing and thriving industries. So kasama na dito yung use of alternative green fuels and retrofitting of ships that are transitioning to green shipping. No? It's very much similar to the story of land, no? But I think the story of the water is much more fluid and very dynamic. Tama ba? We have this last set of points of collaboration on the marine environment. We have aspirations for further reducing marine litter. We are envisioning to also develop a maritime e-library. So kasama na rin dito si exhibits ng mga pinakita na natin kanina, di ba? We need a place for them to show visitors, to show also foreign dignitaries. Akala nila wala tayong ginagawa or wala tayong sariling innovation. No? But we should dedicate a place where all of our homegrown talent and homegrown technologies are showcased. So we at UST Assured are very much excited. We are pumped up. We are very proud of this very fruitful partnership with Marina as well as Tsunami, our maritime partners. No? And we hope to be able to come up eventually with a critical mass, not only of experts but also industry partners moving forward together to make our maritime industry as prosperous, as sustainable, and as resilient as much as possible. So with that, I think I can end my presentation of what we did so far. Maraming salamat po.
To the esteemed participants, organizer, and fellow colleagues involved, a blessed morning to each and everyone. The energy sector is making great progress in mainstreaming alternative fuels and energy technologies assets in the country. The Department of Energy DOE is leading the way in transitioning to cleaner fuels to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and support sustainable and environment-friendly energy technologies. The shift towards assets helps us mitigate climate change by reducing greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions, improving air quality, and enhancing energy security and independence. As outlined in the Philippine Energy Plan 2023-2050, transportation has been identified as one of the most energy-intensive, being the major energy end user in 2022, contributing to the bulk share of 34.4% from the total and final energy consumption. With this, the DOE is continuously searching and evaluating potential assets to provide more efficient vehicles for land, air, and water, reducing the country's reliance on conventional fuels in the transportation sector. At the same time, we aim to reduce air pollution and pollutant emissions that significantly affect the environment and air quality. A step towards addressing the transport sector concerns is a partnership between DOE and the Department of Science and Technology's Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development, or DOST, for the development and demonstration of a safe, efficient, and sustainable solar-assisted electric boat prototype, or a SESI boat. The partnership aims to develop solar-assisted electric boats as an initial step towards introducing environment-friendly water transportation for local passengers and tourists. Its primary focus is to improve existing boat technology and maritime tourist destinations, promoting sustainable transportation. Eventually, this technology could be applied to all relevant maritime locations across the country. The SESI boat features major functionalities such as battery charging via plug-in and solar, and motor control in the actual marine environment. The demonstration of the SESI boat operation was held earlier today, wherein we have witnessed its performance, reliability, capability, and safety. The DOE would like to extend our commendation to the SESI boat project team for their dedication and accomplishment. Moving forward, the DOE, together with DOSTP Shared and the project team, are actively seeking potential partnership with local government units, LGUs, for the installation and demonstration of electric chargers for the SESI boats. The DOE remains dedicated in formulating and implementing policies, plans, and programs aimed at mainstreaming this asset technology, which will significantly improve the environment, air quality, and the health of all Filipinos. On behalf of the Department of Energy, we appreciate the opportunity to partner with you in the SESI boat project.
Junior.
Department of Transportation Secretary Jaime J. Bautista, Maritime Industry Authority Administrator Sonia B. Malaluan, DOSTP Shared Executive Director Enrico C. Paringet, DOE.
I am honored to be part of this first ever Maritime Science and Technology Forum. With all of you here today, I foresee a globally competitive and modernized maritime industry for our country. Last December, I led the Philippine delegation to the 33rd Assembly of the International Maritime Organization in London, where we got re-elected in the IMO Council. As a longtime member of the organization, we are expected to remain aligned with its policies and directions like marine environment protection and enhancement of maritime safety and security, which are pillars of the updated Maritime Industry Development Plan, or MIDP. My sincerest congratulations to Administrator Sonia Malaluan and the whole of Marina, as the President just recently signed the executive order adopting the 10-year MIDP 2028. This plan envisions to create a strong and reliable Philippine merchant fleet that addresses sea transport requirements in support of national development. As we embrace a digitalized and technologically advanced era for our maritime industry, let us bear in mind that we do not just want to achieve efficiency, but also a safe and secure sea transportation for our people without burying a hole in their pockets and in our ozone layer, as human advancement should never be at the expense of environment protection. To achieve this vision, we must act now. With this, let me propose 3 priorities. 1, the decarbonization of ships, by true approaches for energy efficiency enhancement and the transition to clean fuel and electrification. 2. The innovation of equipment and facilities for shipbreaking and metal recycling. And lastly, adoption of maritime artificial intelligence as part of our digitalization efforts. In this forum, we get to initiate and renew research and development efforts with partners in the academic and research institutions while identifying industry priorities with different stakeholders. I encourage everyone to take advantage of this occasion as we sail towards the future of sea transportation. Let us bring the Philippine maritime industry to uncharted waters of opportunities. Thank you for actively participating and mabuhay po tayong lahat.
In advance the interest of the maritime profession and the maritime industry as a whole in the Philippines. The main objective